Have you ever wondered how there's 15, 16, 18, 20 year olds making $20,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month? It's not that complicated of a concept. And I want to actually help you understand this because it actually helped me in a way that I cannot even imagine. What I do, or what I've done, it's basically work on my inner self. The thing is, most people, they actually live with limiting beliefs. And these limiting beliefs stop you from actually trying to do certain things, to even attempt to try something. And let me explain. So I'm going to give you an example. For example, let's say you want to build a business, and there's a voice inside of your head that's telling you consistently, it's not going to work. It potentially could not work, or it's hard, it's difficult. But all of these basically thoughts that you have in your mind, they are just beliefs that are being built around an emotion, around a state of mind, primarily fear. So if you don't even understand why you're having certain thoughts inside your head and the thoughts that you're telling yourself on a day-to-day basis, then how can you possibly change them? And this is what this video is for, because it has helped me a lot. And I want you guys to understand that at the end of the day, if you're not really attempting to do something, it's not just that you're not attempting to do something, it's that your state of mind is wrong. And therefore, even attempting something will feel like a very difficult task. And it shouldn't feel like a difficult task. It should feel like a bless. It should feel easy. It should feel like you're driven to it. It should feel like you're attracted to it. It shouldn't feel like there's a lot of resistance around it. It shouldn't feel like such a complicated thing. But why is it that it is so complicated? Because these beliefs that we have here doesn't come from just anything or a YouTube video or a TikTok or whatever. It actually comes from you growing up, like your parents, your friends, your social circle, basically the values that you were taught while you were growing up, and all of those things are accumulative. So we're looking that we're looking at society, right? What is a good thing to do? What is a bad thing to do? Well, when we talk about good things to do, let's take a step back. Let's remember back in our childhood, you gotta be a law-abiding citizen. You need to say please. You probably shouldn't attempt to do X, Y, and Z, and that shouldn't attempt could be riding a bike because it's dangerous. Some parents do that, not mine. This is just an example, but I'm gonna give you a personal example of this so it hits home. Basically, I remember that for me to even yell or to even like do something crazy in high school, it was looked at like something weird, or this guy is problematic, like this kid is problematic. So you shouldn't yell, you shouldn't express yourself. You gotta be silent. You just gotta pay attention. What is that telling you? What is that telling your subconscious across the years? If we look at it, it's like that's a limiting belief, sure, but it's also ingrained into our minds by society itself. Not only our parents, but also high school, the education system, or friends who are also being, in a sense, brainwashed. So, how can we break free from those limiting beliefs so that we can even attempt to do the things that we want to do and actually do them successfully? We gotta do an inner work, but it's easier said than done, and it's not something that I will definitely say that I know 100% of right now. But the way that I like to do it is if I feel something, whether something just happened to me, or whether I want to do something, or whether I'm going through something, I'm analyzing myself, the feelings that I have, and what are the beliefs attached to those feelings. So, for example, let's say that I'm a high ticket closer, right? So I like to do something called high ticket sales. and I close deals for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000. I make 10% of the commission and I make $1,000 per close. But at first, when I just started doing that, I had a fear of even pitching such a high price because I had a limiting belief, or I had the perception that people weren't just going to buy an expensive item. But why wouldn't they buy an expensive item? Because you fear yourself buying an expensive item. And that's why your perception is flawed. But it's not real. It's not the truth. It's just a belief. It's just a belief based on how you operate. So what do we need to do? We need to change how we're operating so that we change how we're pitching prices, the confidence level that we're doing so with. In that way, we're actually capable of closing the kind of deals that will allow you to get to $10, $20, $50,000 a month in commissions. Now, the vehicle is also super important, right? For me, the best vehicle that allowed me to get to $20,000 a month is actually high ticket sales. But if you master communication, which it means just being articulate in the way you're speaking, and also in the way that you're communicating, the conviction, the confidence, the body language, all of those things, that's great, right? But you won't even get there, and you won't do it effectively unless you actually look at your inner self. So if anybody at all, and I'm super curious to see this, can you put in the comments if you have an emotion and a belief attached to why you're not doing the things that you want? Or for example, why you're not closing or getting that $10,000, $15,000 a month, and why you think that is. And feel free, open up your mind, open up your heart. I'm not here to judge you. I'm just curious to see like what you guys think. Especially like some of my friends that might be watching this video as well. So that's super cool. So cool exercise to do. You don't need to diagnose it or label it right now in terms of like, hey, like this is wrong, this is right. I just want you to be honest with yourself for a minute and just be straightforward with me. Like, hey, like I think the reason I'm not generating a $10,000 a month, it's just because I don't believe I'm capable of X, Y, and Z, and this is why. Whether that it, I actually had a cool story. There's one student of mine that said that he didn't want it to do certain things because he didn't thought they were realistic. And these are just beliefs, right? So we're attaching meaning to these beliefs. And I asked him, okay, so what is realistic? What does that mean? And he stopped there, like thinking for like a minute. It's like being capable of doing something. So then you don't feel like you're capable of doing that specific thing. And like we rewired his brain in like real time so that he feels capable of doing actually. So that's just a quick example of how it works. But if you actually want some guidance and you actually want to get started with high ticket sales and you want not just a guru, but somebody that's actually going to be there alongside with you, or even just want free advice, whatever, feel free to reach out. And I'll be helping a few people for free. I'll be helping a few people, if you have the skill also, getting them placed into one of the companies that are consistently hiring for my hiring pool. But most importantly, if you do inner work and you actually think that, hey, you know, I might have these limiting beliefs, I might just talk to Miguel, feel free to do so. And I'll give you some free pointers.